Hey, hey, how's it going, Ben?
Doing well, doing well. Welcome to Guitar Safari, folks, where we're, I don't know, talking about subject. I don't know. Some guy created the subject and then left town off on a safari himself or something. So I'm the new co-host.
Yeah, he, wanted to be part of the Safari, team, and then now we can't find him. So what are we going to do? I turn to the wizard. That's where I turn.
What are you going to
do? Of Tone.
Hey, everybody in the chat. Wow, I'm going to do roll call. Why not?
Okay.
Let's see. Starting at the bottom, work our way to the top, just like Helter Skelter style. We got the one and only Ferd Burfel. What's up, Ferd? We have Martin from L&M Guitar Corner, who just started on a new guitar project or project, depending on what you say. We've got Janice in the chat. What's up, Janice?
La. What's happening?
Ryan Hall, Dave Chase, who may or may not be naked. Cushman NYC. Good to see it. Some guy named Ben. Never heard of him.
Oh, yeah.
Imposter of Charles 75N in the chat. I don't know who that is either. Who else we got? We got Martin talking a whole bunch. That's fine. And then we scroll back, and it's just everyone talking to each other. I think I saw other people earlier, though. I could be wrong.
I did see Herb from Fireside.
Herb's usually first in the chat. He's here hours early. Yeah, he was here an hour ago. That's fine. I don't know if he's still here for an hour. His foot's going to be awfully tired because he was standing there tapping his foot like Sonic the Hedgehog for an hour. When are they going to start? When
Well, we have a fallen soldier. We didn't have to put this the Safari hat over here next to this Telecaster as representation for, what do you do, Ben, have you ever gone to a gig and it's just someone didn't show up?
Yes. I don't know if I've gone to
like a half an hour before.
Band member didn't show, but I've done gigs with missing band members. For instance, one band I was in, we would do basically the exact same set, but an MTV Unplugged style. So, amplified acoustics through the PA. The drummer would play a cajon instead of an actual drum kit. And after a while, the bass player's like, I don't need to be here. I was like, no, you don't, because he didn't own an acoustic bass either. So it looked weird. Because we're playing acoustics. Right. He's playing a Warlock bass. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
So that was fun. And on the other side of things, I've had that phone call at 5 p.m. on a Friday. Hey, what's up? And it's always the bass player. Our bass player is MIA. You want to fill in tonight? Yes.
Now, do you usually use sheet music for that, or just the chords written out, or you can just jump in? It's a 1-4-5.
If you contact me, it depends on the gig, obviously, but generally, bar band, it's classic rock. We've all heard the songs 1,000 times, so you know when the changes is coming because you can basically sing along in your head. And honestly, all I need, Seth, is a clear shot of your left hand. That's all I need to see. Keep an eye on the left hand. Oh, we're in the key of G. Okay. You know, it's a simple 1-4-5, so we know it's G, C, and D.
And you can hear where it's going.
Yep. Yeah, and you can sense the change coming.
Totally. Yep.
So, that's happened. And it's funny because they usually, after you settle on the gig, they're like, hey, do you want a copy of the set list? You're like, does it matter? Your load-in is in 2.5 hours. I'm not learning, a night's material in 2 hours, so.
Dude, it was funny. You inspired me. Actually, you were responsible partially for me playing guitar for about 4 hours this week.
Wow.
The Monday night hang, you were playing a bunch of Purple Rain chords.
Yes, I was.
And you had the tone dialed. And I was like, oh, there's a song that I have always personally cheated. Like, I know it's in B minor, and so I just never really dug out.
I always play it down a half step. I always play it in A, whereas it should be actually in B flat.
Right. So I went and learned it and played for like hours, dude, and just was like, I dialed the tone. I got the whole thing. I have my synthesizer. So we're talking about playing without band members, right? I want to have this song in my pocket because I can sing it. It's in my zone. For the time when, if your freaking electronics go out and you are someone who plays with a band in a box and you're using that as kind of to prop you up and make you be able to perform and sound good. When it shits out, you had better have something in your pocket to pull out and sound good with just your
beat.
Yep. If your box goes out and you don't have your bass and you had better have at least one song before you get off stage that shows that, look, I can do this with just my, and okay, Rain will do it.
Having the same band, bass players, Warlock, the guts actually falling out of the back of the Warlock on stage because he didn't have the control cover on. I believe it might have been active pickup, so the battery fell out loose, which caught on his belt buckle, and and all of a sudden he had no tone. So what does a fella do? You reach over on the pedal board, Seth, and you crank up the octave down pedal.
Yes. You just octavized, and now you have
I just replaced him by doubling and then playing more single notes, root stuff, than actual chords, so it tracks properly. And
on your power chord, just grab down that next step.
That's like an extra $35 a man at the end of the night because you don't need the bass player. And guess what? You got more beer too because he doesn't drink all your beer.
Totally. The tip of this finger played bass all night. I just I just let it do that. Yeah, I guess you're right. That's why I love my it is it Boss? I think it's the Boss SY1 synthesizer pedal because it has bass settings, and you can have this big undertone. Sounds like a movie style bass underneath you, and then you do that ambient stuff, and it makes it so much more fun. You have 100 more, not how many pedals do you have? You probably have about 50 more options than I do, but the 5 options that I've got, I have
a lot less pedals than I did have. We'll say that.
Yeah, there was a pedal purge last year. Pedal purge.
What's up, Guitar Man 45? Well, I more or less turned the pedals into guitars, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and turn pedals into guitars and guitars into amps.
And fun fact, I did post a list for my channel members and patrons last week of a bunch of pedals for sale, and that list goes public on Tuesday.
Should we list off your list of channel members and patrons here because we appreciate them so much in the Guitar Safari? So the person that has abandoned us and we don't even know, it should be
like half of them are in your chat here, like Bird Burple, Guitar Man 45, Ryan Hall, L&M Guitar Corner, Blackjack Guitar, Dave Chase. That's
Blackjack.
Yeah. So just to mention a few, and and also, please, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I'm 109 subscribers away from 5,000.
Holy Toledo!
Right?
I didn't know that.
We can swear. The dad's not here, so it's holy shit. I know.
Holy shitey shoulders.
Yeah.
5,000, bro. I am on the hunt. You'll like this, Ben. I'm on the hunt for 420.
I like it.
We get me up to 420 subscribers, and somebody sends me $420, and then I can send this thing up to Canada. It needs to go to Canada. Somebody told me that this is a hard rock maple neck that came from Canada.
Yeah. It needs to be repatriated, I believe is the term I want to use.
My brother called it dune buggy purple. He's like, dude, I want a dune buggy that color purple. Todd Presley's like, sign me up.
Before there's bass boats, we had dune buggies.
I did I did double. I did tabbing with the copper, and then I did the painting, and I painted in the ends of the tab. So there's all, and then I did the copper on the back of the guard.
Nice.
And the single
down on the noise, don't you know?
Oh yeah, you'll be able to play this.
I bought a roll of that copper tape to do that on my Telecasters. I bought that, I don't know, 4 years ago. Still yet to use it.
Yeah, I got a ton of it. I lucked out when I was helping to clean out the Bartolini warehouse. I wish you were here for that. If you could have seen it,
right?
Just there was boxes full of pole pieces. All the little magnets. If you wanted to, you could have gotten your. They had single wind pole pieces, so you could build pickups it was crazy, dude. Bill Bartolini, like, used to take a little bit of acid, and
Nothing wrong with
his setup was mind blowing. Like, when I saw it, I was like, "This is some NASA stuff going on right there." No wonder the pickups sound good.
that. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I want to welcome in Steve Rezer State. He says, "Is Charles doing okay?" I don't know.
No,
He's
don't
MIA.
know.
He's off on safari.
So
And we got
think
Steve in, who said, "Speaking of 420, I'll be right back." All right, Mr. Michelli.
I did have a missed call from a jail in Texas, and there was a message marked important, but I fumbled in the morning and I just deleted it with my finger. So we don't know. Something's happened. Something tragic. No,
Apparently Terry's here, but he's not here because he's mobile. He's out waiting for a cab to get home with his groceries. Well, hopefully the cab doesn't take too long and the ice cream melts on the bread. I don't know why you're putting the ice cream on top of the bread anyways, but that's a you thing. That's not a me thing.
I go to this local spot down the hill. They make, organic ice cream, and they sell a quart of it for $9. It's normally 10, but $9 if you bring your own container.
Right.
I think they don't want you to bring the container and do that, because every time I go, they give me on the top of the thing, they put like another freaking half scoop, which would be cool if I had a spoon. I need to remember to bring a spoon in my backpack. But by the time you get home, that extra bit that they were being cool fucking melts everywhere in your backpack. Yeah. So then you take your stuff out and you're like, I got to grade these papers with a bunch of ice cream on them.
Right.
Whatever. That's
Mr. Presley. Why is there ice cream on my paper? You're like, whatever, kid. That's you. It's like,
I hand it back to you.
Dripping ice cream on stuff?
Only if you get an A do I drip my ice cream on your paper.
Yeah.
So,
is it
actually, all the kids get an A.
There we are.
When you work with me, I don't hand out bad grades. That does no good. What does a bad grade do? If you come in late and the kid's late because they got shit going on in their house, why are you going to mark him tardy and then he's going to get a bad grade because something bad was happening in his house? He didn't have any laundry and he was embarrassed.
And guess what? Those kids quickly realize, I don't give a crap if I show up on time now. I'm going to get in trouble anyways.
Well, no, if you're cool with them and you talk to them later about, hey, what was going on? And they tell you, there's so much pressure and this and that. And then you just don't even tell them that you're not marking them tardy, because right? They don't know whether or not you've marked them tardy. But what I'm saying is, you don't want to set a kid up for failure because of stuff that's going on. So if you know what's going on, you just let them get through some bad times, and don't, because I know that was happening with me. I was showing up.
This is true. Okay, so Stephen brings up a good point. He says, always carry eating utensils. You never know where a good meal might pop up.
Dude, yes. Stephen, you're a man of wisdom.
Always carry a spork. Basically.
No, absolutely.
Always carry that.
That's, or, like the old Swiss Army knives, just to had something that you could at least eat with.
Martin's off for dinner right now. What you having, Martin?
Martin.
I always wonder, he was on a water buffalo meeting, what we call for the Zoom hangs for the channel members, and he was on one. And he said, I gotta leave. I'm gonna have dinner now. And I thought, what kind of Austrian meal are you gonna have?
Right.
Hot dogs. I was like, what?
Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me.
But I was so disappointed. I thought I was gonna hear some exotic European meal, and he's like, hot dogs.
Right. I know.
Not even. I don't know. As an Austrian, Vienna sausages, perhaps. I don't know. But no, hot dogs. Right.
I want to see that beer fridge filled up. Mm-hmm. And maybe they could put some sodas in there. For you, go over there, do a beer tasting, soda tasting.
Root beer. There's always room for root beer.
There's always room for.
What's your favorite kind of beer? Root. Speaking of which, I did send Charles a video yesterday on the history of root beer. He did not reply. I'm pretty sure he's blocked me at this point. So, yeah.
If you have to use your hands. Oh, I forgot that we could be doing the thing where we bring up the people's things.
Well, you can. I can't. All I do is click on stuff. I don't have abilities. There we go. Birch beer. Sure.
Birch beer. Now, I got a question for you, Moonch. Is that you on the bike? Okay. And is that actually the incline that you were riding, or did you take a picture like this?
Right.
And then
turn it? No, because the tree, it could be very windy and the trees are leaning over, but I see trees upright. But again, he could have a hell of a tailwind, and he's just digging in.
Right? I know. The reason I'm saying that is because I used to do the same thing with surfing pictures. If you have a picture of a good wave and you want to make it look even more critical, you just kind of tilt the picture. And this is before Photoshop, or at least before common access to Photoshop was out. And I would do like,
well, it's like fun fact I noticed was like you go to a punk rock show where there's generally, it's at a community center and there's no stage. They're just playing it in the corner on the floor.
Absolutely.
But to make it not look like a cheap ass little indie punk show, if you get down on your hands and knees and shoot photos from the waist up at them, then it looks like they're on this big glorious stage.
Totally. The Gilman Street Project in Berkeley is kind of famous for punk music and most famous, I think, for Green Day and Operation Ivy. Anyway, their stage was just 1 inch above knee high. Like the perfect height to destroy your femurs.
Yeah.
And people would get pushed up, but it was the perfect height to stage.
That means you're going to get a wedge monitor in the ribs as you fall forward, which is always fun.
Yeah, if they had monitors. I think they did have monitors, but as a drummer, I was a drummer. And I remember the monitor was always sitting on a little, those wood things that they wrap cable around. It's a little
yeah. We'd use milk crates.
Oh God, this sitting on this wheel thing, and just the bass player didn't have to be in the monitor because his stack, he had a fucking he played it.
Okay, here's the question: as a drummer, what did you mainly need in the monitors?
What do I? Oh, as a drummer,
the single most important thing for you in the monitors. What's the single most important thing for you to hear in the monitors as a drummer?
It's
because I know you're the mix, but
right. So it would be bass. But if the bass is right next to me, I don't need him in the monitor. I need vocals because vocals is a lot of my cue.
Yes,
yeah. I can play the song and I know what the guitars are doing because they're not really in my space. I need to let them be in their zone. I should be separate. And the vocals, and that was always a problem. The number one problem for me as a drummer was the lighting people didn't give a shit about the drummer. They would cut the entire being dramatic was more important than hitting the drums to them. Like they would cut all the lights. And then there'd be other times where they would completely blind you. Yes. And you're like, I'm trying to just play drums. That's why I think some drummers love to be back behind.
Right. I'm going to have the comms at eye level to get rid of those row of lights behind the monitors, cymbals up high to get the overheads blocked.
Deflect it. Yeah. But being a drummer...
I figured, though, vocals would be... Because people don't realize, like, you think, oh, drummer, you're the heartbeat of the song. Well, you are, but a lot of stuff is cued off of the vocals to the point where I remember being at band rehearsal and our singer was running late. So we're like, well, let's just get started. Now, these are songs that we had been performing literally for years. It's based autopilot type rehearsal. Not so much rehearsal, but practice, stay in shape. We're all over the place because we're missing all the cues because I'm waiting for drum cues as a guitar player, but the drummer needs the vocalist to trigger the cue, and so it just ends up being a domino effect. Like for me, the biggest thing I needed to hear, other than myself in a monitor situation, like because chances are if they have the whole band in the monitor, stage volume is going to be to the point where I can't really hear myself. So, but assuming that I can hear myself, then again, vocals. Definitely for vocal cues, because generally I can hear the drums, or at least the kick. I can feel the kick if the stage is small enough, So we're okay there. There's never been a point where I can never hear the drums, but that might be the second most important as a guitar player. Vocals and drums.
Vocals. You're going to be able to hear the drums.
Yeah.
No one likes the bass player anyway.
Yeah. Don't need to hear the other guitar player. I don't care what he's doing. I just assume he's doing it correctly.
Well, that's sort of like him when he's doing what he's supposed to be doing when you take your you know what I mean? Everybody gets to hear each other if everything's going right.
Sure, Coach. The same as
Coach, we appreciate you.
For the longest time singing lyrics incorrectly in my own bands because I thought the singer was singing one thing and he was singing something. And he's like, do you even know what the song is about? I was like, no. You don't know what the lyrics are? I said, no. Do you care? As a guitar player, Seth? No.
No.
As long as you're singing in key, I could give a rat's ass what's coming out of your mouth. I honestly don't care. You know, as long as it's in key.
That tone in key, especially if it's, you know, some good rock. Although, yeah, I have
assuming that it's not like spewing out some kind of hateful. You're like, oh, I didn't realize I'm in a white power band. Ooh, I think I'm going to give notice. You know, like, wow, I didn't realize
you actually read the lyrics, and you're like, holy shit, I didn't know this was what I was representing.
Ooh, yeah, I'm going to easing out with the gear, just backing out the gear. You start wheeling in the
Have you ever seen Dave Lombardo, the drummer for Slayer, do an interview, and they'll ask him about the devil, and he's like, I don't like the devil. I like the drums. And they were the most challenging people to play drums for. And they're, you know, he liked the group of guys and all this. It's like, he's not into the devil. He's into shredding the drums.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Although, I hear that the devil's pretty cool.
I hear.
Some people say he drinks a lot of coffee, smokes a little weed.
He drinks a lot of coffee and has good tone.
The devil has excellent. The devil plays dumbbells. Ooh, there's an album.
The devil plays dumbbells. That sounds like a rockabilly album.
That should be what's his name from 21 Jump Street. That should be his band. Johnny Depp. Depp plays dumbbells with the devil. Ooh. Anyway, too many D's, triple D's now.
I'm gonna have to. I may have to steal on that one.
Oh man. Yeah, so we don't know what happened to Charles. I think he may have.
Oh yeah, Billy Boney in the chat, by the way. What's up, Billy?
He
was asking where Charles is. Don't know.
He may have wrapped himself in cloth because it's a dangerous thing that he does. Like that. I mean, there's cloth there. There's a lot of poly there. He could have just and then
once he's wrapped up in the vinyl, accidentally kicks over a can of hardener on top of himself, and now he's a mummy.
And he's in Texas, so that it could dry in 15 seconds. So
well, yeah.
Dumbbells. Johnny Depp plays dumbbells. Although Johnny Depp is one of the only guys that he will play $1 million worth of gear on stage, which is pretty crazy. Pretty good. I love it.
Because he can. Because
he's got a lot.
Yeah.
Did we mention go to Presley Customs and unsubscribe, and then resubscribe, and then share that latest video, which was just the unboxing of this. You know, I haven't been shooting I'll do a video of an update.
I gotta do the videos.
I had tragedy strike during this build already. Like it wasn't major tragedy, and I overcame it. But
power tool on the guitar, that's my usual.
No, it was one of the hands to the sky because this time when I ordered my headstock decals, because of this build, I wanted to make it really cool and invert normally it's gold on the inside of the Presley and black on the outside. This one, because of the look of the guitar, I went black on the inside and gold around the outside.
I like it.
So anyway, they came in and I put the first one on, and that one was completely user error, freaking lifestyle choices, crumbled it, and it was gone. $15. Goodbye, $15. And then all right, okay. Deep breath, walk away, come back. Second one.
Mm-hmm.
Second one goes down perfect, right? I was really careful, took my time, goes down perfect. Let it dry, 24 hours, let it dry. Go back, do my thing to lock it in. You know, I don't do a full like Tony does with the sanding and all that. I don't do that. I do it with this lacquer mix that actually the decal seeps in and kind of just becomes part of the headstock. So it's just a few floats. Anyway, I hit it with a third coat, and I guess I got a little bit later in the evening. I got a little bit. Oh shit, my wife's coming home soon, and there's a little bubble on the O. Now this is something that, you know, most people wouldn't even care. It's cool, a little, you know, it would pass by fender. But, you know, when you're doing it, I tried to chip it off and it chipped off. Had to go back and completely scrape that thing off, sand it down, make the headstock perfect, reapply. I hit it, made it perfect, and then I got it. I did the clear coat really slow, and I got it finally. But 3 fucking decals is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Or
sometimes it's just.
You have noticed I started a series on restoring a guitar from the 80s, and you take the neck out of the neck pocket, and you look down, and you're like, "Is that MDF?"
MDF. Exactly. Wait, and now those are banana stickers from like Chiquita Banana when you pull them off the bananas. Did you used to eat that many bananas?
Yes.
I'm a banana lover myself as well.
There was a time it was pretty much at least almost a banana a day.
Yeah, you got to keep the cramps from the hands when you're shredding all the time.
And less bruising with the potassium,
Totally.
I find you don't bruise as easy. What's up, Hip Metalworks? Good to see you. And Vox Guitarist Rock in the chat as well.
Hey, Mooch, I did see that the 50 miler thing that you are hardcore and into it. That is awesome. I am not that hardcore, but I have an e-bike, and I have not driven my car to work since all of this school year. So I am down with the bike for sure. And he says very light coats over decals is a must. Yeah, I get it, dude. I totally blew it. You ever have it? Sorry. Where you're in rhythm kind of, and then something just kind of knocks you a little bit out of rhythm, and you continue on as if you're still good.
Every day. Right.
And I should have just said, you know what, maybe 2 coat, maybe I'll come back to that next coat tomorrow. But I just hit it. Oh, you know what it was, Ben? I do this thing where I hold the headstock, hold the neck with the headstock, and I know it's about 10 inches, and I go for some reason, when I did the last spray, I went like this, and my last spray, as I went this way, I like pulled the neck in so that it brought it like way really closer.
Fast. Yeah.
It was like, and if I would have just did my normal method of, anyway, but then I actually had a moment where I got a little bit upset, and I looked to my wife I walked up and I was like, I'm out of rhythm. Can I not build guitars anymore? What the hell? You question.
Hey, I used to know how to solder competently.
I have the magic soldering gun. I got Bartolini's soldering gun, and ever since then, my soldering I did this little puddle on the back of, how the claw can be really hard on a trim claw.
Very. That's where you're like, do I have to get out the propane torch? Really?
Exactly. Dude, this magic gun is like the perfect puddle. And I was like, and I actually had a customer that was watching me do it because he'd come, and I guess I hadn't done that part. And he's like, oh, you got to do that. And I'm thinking, great. It's something you like to do in private behind closed doors. Right. But I was blessed. This gun, you turn it on, it heats up immediately. He must have known the exact one to use.
Sure.
Very, very helpful. Very helpful.
I agree.
So later on tonight on Ben's channel, we're going to have the Gummy Weed Challenge. All right. It's going to be on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
To the break of dawn.
Super chat where he's eating a gummy. I'll play it on the saxophone, and
Ben's got
StreamYard. That was fun because that's the way it works with YouTube. You raise the money in October to get paid in November to buy the gifts for December.
Right. We also have to pay the StreamYard for
every 6 months. Wants their cut of money on American Thanksgiving time because that's when I got it originally. And the van wants breaks apparently because it likes to go but doesn't like to stop right now. So
Vox is saying Aldi Maloa, that dude had a heart attack on stage.
Aldi Miola.
Yeah.
All right, I got a spider in here for some reason, and not a Line 6 one.
Oh shit! Is it a gangster spider? Yeah, it's gangster. If it's too big, my wife will actually save it and put it outside. We don't want it to stain the wall when we crush it. If it's on tile.
And I saw apparently Guitar Man 45 is celebrating 33 years of marriage this coming week.
Holy dude! So who is which one?
Guitar Man 45.
So Guitar Man. The 33 years in marriage, I just want to tell you this. If rather than marriage, you would have decided to, I don't know, commit a murder, you'd be out of jail right now.
But would he have as many guitars as he has?
Oh, no, he's probably got a
He's got all the guitars. He's
amazing.
Yeah, pretty sure he has them all. Will you go away, Spider? You're mocking
when
me.
you have that partnership that like the other person makes you better, I think that does help you to like allow you to get more guitars and allow you to build yourself out in your life rather than I like to joke about, oh, I didn't have this, but my wife has definitely been a pillar to help me build what I've got, which is a bunch of, oh, hey, dude, I got someone coming over today to buy a Presley.
Nice. There we go. I'm back.
Yeah. A local person off of Greenport, and hit me up, and he lives a couple cities over, and he said he wanted to come by and grab a Presley. This one, the one with the little piece of paper, because that's like the setting, and it's like ready to go.
One of the two black-guarded Ingwe Strats.
Those are both tortoise guard. And they're both hardtail. Neither one of, but yeah, they're kind of they look a little bit like Ingwe Strat because of the yellow.
Well, just first glance, because anytime you see a buttercream Strat, you think Ingwe for some reason.
I don't like donuts.
I call bull. You don't have a waistline like that without enjoying the odd donut. I'm just saying.
The Pantera video. Have you ever seen that when they were kids? They get into the elevator with Ingwe, and they're like, hey, Ingwe, and they had a bunch of donuts, and they're like, hey, you want some donuts? And he's, don't eat fucking donuts, and I don't want donuts. And you know he's lying, because donuts are one of those things that even if you don't eat them,
you'll have one if offered.
You still want one, right? I mean, I smelled some donuts in Safeway, where I do my local shopping, and it must have been that they just had finished cooking them, because I smelled it so good that I never dipped the donuts. I walked over to check it out, and there were none in the case. And I was disappointed because I could smell it so well, but there was none to visually satisfy me. It was a mystery.
There is a special thing too about hot donuts. There is a thing about hot donuts.
Krispy Kreme is a company we have that is famous for
where my cousin Doug lives, west of here. That's why I'm pointing west, for those who don't understand where I'm pointing. It's a test market, so we get a lot of American franchises in Canada, and if they have one location in Canada, it's there. And they had a Krispy Kreme, and I hadn't been there. I was living up there at the time. I had a buddy from down here up visiting, and he's like, hey, I've heard about these Krispy Kremes. Let's go check them out. I'm like, sure, why not? So we get there. We're out in the parking lot celebrating lifestyle choices because we figure we're going in for coffee and donuts.
Oh, yeah.
And upon the lifestyle choices, I open the door, and look, as soon as I open the door, there's like a manager-shaped object, and he's like, free hot donut? And I went, sure.
I think I like it.
And I was just like, oh. Nothing about awesomeness. Of course, really crave the coffee to wash it down.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, Herb has been lurking. The cat house is kicking his butt. Well, you got into the catnip, and that's kicking your butt. You don't have a tolerance to it, I guess.
Maybe he's building the cat thing,
or maybe he's building a cat house, and the instructions are in Swedish because he bought it from IKEA, and he has no idea. I don't know.
We abandoned IKEA. We went into IKEA and we started to design the closet, and we said, F this, and we left.
As opposed to another place called Cat House, could be a house of ill repute, the Cat House.
Ooh.
That can kick your ass in a whole different kind of way, especially if you pay extra. Hashtag kinky. No, kinky. Bought a cat house. Bought a cat house. Okay. You know, a cardboard box and they're just happy. That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
right. Lackluster directions. There we are.
If you empty out that old amp, just, empty out the insides that play in that.
Cover your amps in shag carpet, or not even shag, just plush carpet, and now they're scratching posts for the cats.
Mm-hmm. I've got a mahogany lamp that I that was just here in the house when I moved in, and nobody. They're like, "Oh, we got to throw that away," and we're going to take it. And I was like, "No, don't take that to the dump. I want to sand it down and paint it like a lacquer, same color as one of the guitars. Like I could paint it shoreline gold or whatever, and then it'll match the guitar. And then
I like it.
Still a guitar and lamp combo. It's a starter kit, so you can be
a whole new thing, folks.
Right.
A whole new thing.
Whole new thing. You get a lamp when you buy that. Yeah. Hey, I saw that statement about your wife there, and yes, my brother. Have any other way?
Ryan managed to make a comment where he capitalized almost every word in the sentence. That's pretty. I'm not quite sure why Ryan does that. I don't know if it's a code. We're supposed to read into it. I don't know. I don't.
You know how I am with grades.
Maybe Ryan can explain that at some point. I don't know. There's an awful lot of
okay. And I wish I knew how to do emojis on this. And everybody needs to know that Charles chatting is actually me chatting, because that is dangerous.
Charles is not here. He went away.
Don't know. Have you gotten any text about Charles? I mean, I've got like a weekly update report that says I've used too much screen time, I think. And then, no, I'm way down on my screen time now that I'm back in school, actually.
Nope, not a thing. Not a thing. See? Not a thing.
Holy guitar rack. That's cool.
Well, that's just here sideways.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, so I never see that. You never see that perspective of it.
There's 17.
17, huh?
Going across. Yeah, because what you don't see is they keep going.
Oh, man.
And then there's another rack over there that we're starting on.
And then the other side of the room. And then down the hall.
And then amplifiers everywhere else. So.
Oh, I know. The amp stacks are glorious. I keep on the walls.
I've got pedals, though. Less pedals. Well, about the same on display, but there's less that aren't on display. Put it that way.
Right. No, guitar-wise, I'm 10 on the walls. So I got the 6 Strats behind me, and on the wall, the opposite direction are 4 Tellys.
Nice.
Although right now I'm looking at no actual Tellys because they're all humbucker guitars. But
the Blackjack guitar says Ryan has happy fingers, and that's why all the caps. And then Ryan replies, "Sometimes I have no clue," and no and clue both capitalized with all the emojis afterwards.
Yeah. You know what? It's all good.
We have
J200 Vintage Sunburst is lurking.
Deer Rust, Vintage Sunburst.
And
Jim Cox brings up an interesting point. Are the police monitoring Charles' credit card accounts for use? Yes.
Oh, could be that we could get a ping.
Things off at a pawn shop for the purchase of a Gretsch or a Guild or any guitar that starts with a G. Really, Charles.
So he started in Texas. Do we think he went east or did he go west? Did he go east or we know he didn't go south? We know that he's not going down into Mexico unless he was really on the lam and something had gone.
Not this time of year. That's more of a January decision, I think.
Right. And again, in solidarity, we've got other way. I can't do this internet thing. Yeah, we've got the Safari hat next to a Telecaster shaped object. I chose this for you, Brother Charles. Yes, this is my Safari mug without the logo.
He could be on a sailboat.
Oh. Is he in Nantucket?
Ice is melting. We must be 2/3 of the way to the show.
On a bucket in Nantucket and say, no, I don't know what he would say if he was on a bucket in Nantucket. He'd get some corn and he would shuck it. All right. I've had a lot of coffee. All right. It's really not my fault.
Now Spider's back over here.
Spider smells the
get the fly that's over here.
I'm going this way, dude.
I don't need all this nature.
He's got 8 legs, so he
studio environment here. But apparently it's not. That's fine.
Glary.
Are we Glary
guitars? I mean, yes. I was going to name my son Glary.
Did we check the garage? We have not.
Glary Donner guitar. Glary Donner Presley. Now that's a mean name. That's like naming your son after 2 of the terrible wrestlers that always get beat up.
Right. Yeah. Why don't you just call him Jobber?
Jobber. Well, if I actually had a son, it was going to be named Wesley, because that would have been the most cruel. Wesley Presley. I mean, that's epic.
Hey, when my sister was with child for my niece, I asked her, "Are you going to name the child after yourself?" And she says, "No." And I said, "Well, you should, with the middle name Lynn." And she went, "What? Amanda Lynn?" I said, "Exactly.
Amanda Lynn." I think if you had a son, you could name him Kane Coombs. Kane Coombs. Pretty cool. I mean,
I'm just saying, yeah, Amanda Lynn. You know, if you got a girl, you know, is it two names or is it an object? Who's to say?
Yeah, I got a bunch of two-name girls in my family. There's Adie Jane is my niece, and and also Emma. The other one goes by Emma Rose. So they all use their.
You get that from the French Canadian quadrant because of the, I guess, the Catholicism of it. So all the women, it's Mary something or other. Mary Margaret, Mary Ann, Mary Mac.
Okay.
Yeah. Same as apparently Jean for a guy goes with anything. Like, you know. Jennifer Berta. There we are.
If Steven has kids, he's gonna name them I'm Another. Ima and I'm Another. Oh, Ima and I'm Another. I get it. That's you had two kids, right? Yeah.
Or do you just name them 1.0, 2.0, 3.0?
I got twins upstairs that are Javier and James. And now, actually, I'll tell you this much. Yesterday was the first time that I really hung out with them all day that I could tell them apart. And not just by their clothes, but kind of by their face and like how they act. They look exactly alike. And but they act kind of different at this point because they're 6. You know, I told them, dude, you guys are about to be 6. You're freaking. You're gonna love. I got to show you this. Hold on. I got this for those.
Like that, Steven.
They were rocking out so hard yesterday. We're gonna build this up for them.
Nice.
It's a tiny, tiny little thing, and I have this color paint, so I can do the headstock and paint over the
headstock. Adds 10% more tone.
You know, and then who's going to be the first 7-year-old on their block playing a custom with a, built up custom, but it's not handmade or anything. But it'll be I'll make it pretty badass. I know that it'll be fun.
This is true, Jim.
My brother always said he was going to name Harry. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I had a friend named Gary Love who always said that he wanted to try to become a doctor, although he was terrible in education all around. So Dr. Love never actually came to be.
Oh, someone's doing a burnout down the front road. That's nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're just trying to be here.
So I live in an area, dude, where I live just adjacent to one of the richest areas, like in Northern California, where it's freaking unbelievable that the amount of money that some of these people have. There's kids that have never had a job in their life that are driving brand new Mustangs. Not to say that, like, hey, life has deserved them things, and I'm not taking it away from them, but I'm like, oh my God, like you cannot put a 17-year-old or 18-year-old kid in a 400 horsepower vehicle with a clutch and not expect them to wrap the thing around a pole. Like it's just.
Well, this is why insurance rates are so high amongst teenagers traditionally.
Right? That's why insurance is so expensive. But these kids have expensive cars. At least I was doing it in like an old piece of junk, a Mercury Montego or something. That's what we used to.
I did the old. I was registered in the family as primary driver on an 84 Chevy S10, but I drove a Z28. The Z28 was registered my father's name for his insurance because the insurance company basically wanted to charge me the value of the car every month for insurance. Because the car was only worth like $2,500 at the time, because it's a 10-year-old Camaro in the late 80s or early 90s. Right. And they're like, yeah, your quote is $2,000 a month for insurance. I'm like, what? As opposed to the S10 was like $150 a month. 150. Right. So it's like, well, but then our insurance guy always see me driving the Camaro, and he's like, how come I always see you driving? I'm like, I borrow it.
Yeah.
Like, I guess you just happen to see me every time I borrow it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm very rarely in this car. We just have very strong coincidence.
Right. Because, fun fact, anyone who's in the household, right? Your insurance is like if you're primary on one vehicle, you're automatically insured on the other vehicles. So we just looked at, okay, who's cheapest on each vehicle?
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact. And it just happened that those are the vehicles that matched up with the drivers.
Dude, I lived in Oakland and had at the time a really nice car. I had a twin turbo 350Z with all the appointments. I bought it because my buddy was buying cars off of auctions and found it, and I just couldn't not buy it. It's like $100,000 bill for 25 grand. So I bought it, and then I realized I can't park this car in Oakland. I live in Oakland. Like, it's going to be stolen. So I had to pay for a parking spot back behind where I lived. And I had to pay for full coverage insurance. That was like $300 a month. So the car was costing me, aside from the payment for the car, which was like, I don't know, not too bad, but it was $300 and something a month just to insure it and park it. And it was a race car, so I wasn't driving it all the time. It was like only for, the track or just driving, fun driving. God, that car was amazing.
Not great for hauling gear, though.
No, not great for much of anything, actually. Actually, even very uncomfortable, even when you have fun driving in it. And here's the thing. It was kind of stupid because you couldn't take it out and really have fun with it without doing illegal stuff. Like, you don't need to be doing 100 miles an hour on the freeway only in fifth gear when the car's a 6-speed. It's like, it's crazy. So got rid of that. That was about the time that I started focusing attention into really getting back into guitar again, because I kind of put race cars. Race cars are way more expensive than these things.
That's true.
They're fun, and I love it.
Talking about laws of diminishing returns. Oof, duh.
Right? Oh God, yeah.
Guitars don't wear out as fast as race cars. Parts wear out. That was a fun summer, taking the car down the strip every weekend. Seth, guess what? It's October. Need to rebuild the engine.
Oh, yeah.
Because now it's smoking like crazy on startup because you've just worn it out. It's just tired.
And depending on the track that you're doing, especially if you're doing oval tracks, you're going to be replacing suspension all the time, right? If you're doing... my little brother, Jacob Presley, was a really accomplished track driver, like the road tracks down in North Carolina. He has a very fast little Mustang, but he got hooked up with a real team that was driving these BMWs. And he's very, I think we have the Presley thing where you get into the zone, you don't get freaked out, you get calmed down and you get locked in. Focused. Race cars are totally that for me anyway. Like hang gliding is too. Just it's the only time I'm quiet. I'm always loud. Too much words.
And that's right, Stephen. Race fuel costs way more than guitar strings. That is true.
But it's so much fun. And now I know enough just to go out and enjoy other people's investments, and because most people with really cool cars, not most people, some people with really cool cars are like fun and they want to share and they enjoy, like we would with our guitar. Hey, check the play of my guitar. That's why I build them. So people with their cars, you go out and they want you to jump in and go for a ride with them because they're happy, they're proud of what they have.
Yep.
L&M, you're back. Well, how was dinner, brother? We are so high on coffee, dude.
So
good.
I'm hopped up on the Coca-Cola, so
you didn't miss anything, dude. We haven't found Charles. We are significantly more concerned because almost an hour has gone by.
I figured he would pop in at least once just to check in on us. I don't know.
And I'm regretting not
putting an
air tag on Charles. We should have put an air tag on him a while ago.
And I realized Charles probably doesn't even have notifications for his own channel enabled on his phone.
To know that he's doing a show right now.
Terry reports in he's home now. Did not see Charles on the way home.
Okay.
So we know Charles is not in Central Ontario.
That area, that quadrant of the map is covered. So he could be west, could be north, could be east, but he's not in Texas. Oh, burger with
Wagyu patties. Ooh.
Wagyu, that's a really good expensive kind of beef.
Now I'm going to point this out, Wagyu. Seth. Herb claims he's been lurking the whole show. And then he asks, "Who's on tonight, Ben?"
We're having the gummy weed challenge tonight. I'm trying to get up to 420 subscribers, and he's trying to get this StreamYard build paid. So we're trying to, if anybody has a couple bucks, throw it that way tonight. Don't throw it to Charles's channel right now. I think Charles's channel is set up to. Ooh, can I embezzle from his channel now that I'm here? Oh, hold on. I take all existing credits, deposit to Presley. Done. Hey, Ben, I got to go have sushi. I'm kidding.
So now I not here, and I go to digitals, share screen.
Oh, you're doing the link. I don't know how to link.
No, I'm not doing the link because I don't.
I can write.
I can share this, and then you can add it, so we can see it. Is what I'm saying. There we are. Tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.
You guys notice I'm not wearing shoes? That's a real thing. I actually usually do wear those camo pants, and I normally don't usually wear shoes.
Oh, I found Charles.
What? Where is he?
He's in the
truck. He's locked up back there. In the back, in the back of the truck.
Yeah.
All right.
Next to the camel.
The camel's gonna fart on him. He's right in the way of the camel farts.
Yeah. Well, could be spitting on him. So there we are.
So that's what's going on for tonight. I almost thought I had a big ass spider, but it was just one of those eye spiders that go. So any new gear?
It'll be more shenanigans because that's how we roll. And
yes, Charles was hacked. Wait, here's the thing though, guys. Y'all would know if Charles got hacked, it wouldn't be by Presley because I'm like the least technical hacker. It's pretty bad. But yeah,
I'm sorry to hear that, Josh. But you'll be with us in spirit. And there's Trev woke up.
What up, Trev?
The entire show. That's fine. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, Trev. That's fine.
Hopefully, everybody has been able to carve out time.
You're on the same time zone as Seth here. He managed to make it on time.
I'm up. I had the twins woke me up very early.
Well, then again, yeah. In all fairness, Trev and I were hanging out approximately 13 hours ago. So,
and it's not the set of twins that I normally like to wake up to, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
You know, it's a different set of twins. They're lovely, and I enjoy them.
Well, then you'll be the same as us, Josh. Inebriated.
That I like a lot more.
Yeah, we need proof of life from Charles.
Proof of life. Oh, we need a picture of him with the newspaper. His wife's going to have him there, and he's going to be holding a Telecaster and a newspaper.
Yeah,
saying that we all disappear from time to time. It does happen. I've disappeared. I don't know, a couple times in my life where people are like, "Where the hell, Seth?" One time was in Japan. That's a whole story, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
I just say you don't want to take certain lifestyle choices with you to Japan because it's frowned upon in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
To the tune of 97 days. Anyway, so that's a whole long story. But you don't want to do that if you go to Japan. Maybe don't even do it if you go to Canada.
No, we got enough here for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, why are you bringing it with you? I mean, geez, in Japan,
whatever lifestyle choice you're into, I'm pretty sure you can find it here in Canada. Just saying.
We keep it mellow, man. California people, we're just chill. Come on down. Although apparently San Francisco's gone to hell. That's what you hear on the news nowadays about how it's being abandoned and it's pretty fentanyl.
That city has been cyclical for over a century. It ebbs and flows.
Is crazy. these fentanyl zombies are off the hook, dude. It's unbelievable. They're like on.
There's a good question. Bo says, "Okay, what guitar do we have to bring out to find Charles?" I don't know.
Oh well, it would
try. I'll try. This usually works. Oh, Charles, are you there?
Charles! Oh wait, he's just gotten closer. I'm sure that'll get him to get into the vicinity as soon as he. San Fran needs Inspector Callahan back. Who was Inspector Callahan?
San Francisco, perhaps was that the streets of San Francisco? Michael Douglas.
Oh, probably we need somebody back. We need Columbo. We need.
How about Nash Bridges? He was in San Francisco, and he had a CUDA. So,
I got to tell you, if my Impala was on a episode of Nash Bridges. Nice. I had a '68 Impala that I took out to Hawaii with me eventually. Anyway, and they had a casting call, and I had to take it out to Treasure Island, and it was on an episode of Nash Bridges. Yep, I got paid like $350 for that. That was a long time ago.
That's right. Billy Baloney did get a new Gretsch this week.
Ooh.
Dirty Harry. Okay, that's Dirty Harry. I see.
Yeah, we need Dirty Harry.
I think I watched some of the Dirty Harry movies like when I was quite young, but I never really got into them.
Herb, so my Impala, when I moved to Hawaii, I moved to Hawaii a couple times. When I went out the second time, I took my Impala out with me, and I got personalized license plates for it, and it said IMP-DOG, Imp Dog. Now, mind you, I'm me. Like, I'm not cool or tough, and I'm driving around in this Impala in Hawaii with the long hair. Like, I'm Imp Dog. I was
the Impalers, we call them,
misrepresented as a youth. It had a 327 in it, small block 327. I could throw my small surfboard in the trunk.
Yes, you could.
It was cool. Yeah. Yep. Back and forth from the north. Oh, Dave is from the North Shore. Dave, is it Drop In Dave? Big Wave Dave? I used to have a couple.
I'm just waiting. When he says North Shore, but is he talking? Because he's in New Hampshire. That's a whole different North Shore.
Oh,
where you look across the way you go. Is that Nova Scotia? You know, like
68 Impala, Janice. That was. I had a 68. Mm-hmm. With the specific taillights, they're like a kind of square. They weren't the round taillights, and it had the big kind of squared back end. It was really great. Big Wave Dave, I love it, bro. You're not the Big Wave Dave that lived behind me in Hawaii as a kid.
How are you not cold all the time, Dave? How?
I think you can. You can.
Hawaii to New Hampshire, like that's just not right. That's cold. That's cold.
It is. New Hampshire's hardcore. Yeah.
That's like north of me. I don't like the north. I'm north enough.
What are you about equal with New Hampshire?
No, I'm further south. I'm almost on par. I'm on par with basically the Portland, maybe. Or
okay.
Yeah. Actually, I'm trying to think because when I lived in Windsor, I was on the same latitude as Northern California. I know that, which like Bo, Detroit's basically the same as Northern California.
Oh, wow.
Most people don't realize that. And
I think it is a 67 Janus where that has the round taillights. Those are more desirable. Those are more expensive. Mine, I didn't have hydraulics, but I did have airbags, and I could drop it down to solo. But I would have to go to the
until they leave.
But I had to go. And I had to go to the gas station to fill them up to be able to. I lived in an apartment, and I had a downstairs garage, and I couldn't get in and out of that with it slammed.
Right,
dude. I love it, Big Wave Dave. That is really cool to know that you're a Hawaii dude.
Cool. I had no idea. I've talked to the guy several times. No idea.
That's awesome. So biggest I've ever surfed Sunset Beach, Hawaiian swell, 15 feet solid, real Hawaiian. Surfed pinballs all the time, which is Waimea Bay when it's small. So Dave probably knows all these spots. That's cool, man. Yeah, I have my surfing trophies back there. They're the small ones because I lost the big ones. And in moving and in divorcing and all that shit, I lost all my trophies.
That happens.
It wasn't because I was good at
you wouldn't have lost them during the divorce. They would have been destroyed during the divorce. So,
yes, some surfboards were destroyed. I think during the tips were broken off and whatnot. But, no, she was a good one.
Vengeance is mine, saith the X.
Vengeance is mine. Ooh, 10-foot pipe on a bodyboard. That is hardcore because pipeline. I actually have 14 stitches and I broke my nose. This little scar here is from just up from pipe at Pupukea, which is just sketchy, dude. It was really fun when I was young, but I don't mess with any of that anymore. It's just beyond. I'm so glad that the people that are doing it now have GoPro cameras, and so I can live through that. And
right,
dude. I'm gonna go and get all my gummies ready. I got to take care of these kids for the day, so I can't be all gummied out. But I'm gonna be ready for tonight. And we're gonna set it off and have some fun.
We are
looking for Charles because I don't know where the hell this dude went.
Maybe let's see if he's got notifications for my channel turned on and he makes an appearance tonight. I don't know.
Let's see. We're here so far in the 80s, then supposed to go to the 50s, and then leaves. Leaves are falling. That's your weather.
It's that fun time of year, Seth, where you got to have like the central layer on during the day because it's in the 80s, but then you have frost warnings at night, so you got to have the furnace on.
Totally. Dude, Herb, we will see you tonight. Hit the like button.
Well, he'll see us. We'll see him the next time he puts out a video because that's
but yeah, he's been doing it every Friday. I look for the shredding on some kind of 80s metal guitar. I'm looking forward to some more Skid Row jams because I'm a Skid Row guy. Great show, guys. Dude, great show because of the people that showed up and made it possible for us to
hit the like, subscribe if you're new, and of course, and you do a search for my name. I'm just going to say hi.
Go over to Ben Coon. He's hitting that
5,000. Please subscribe. We're trying to close in on 5,000 subscribers.
5,000. Go to Presley. I'm trying to close in on 420 subscribers, but I'm 300 and something away. So I don't know if that technically is closing in. How do you closing in? I think is when you're a little closer than more than half away. Right. But you know what? We did break the 120 mark. We're at 121. So, and I don't post all that much. And my stuff isn't that entertaining. Like, it's not funny. Like the soda pop tastings are funny and fun. And I don't know.
Only funny watching me drink death. That's the thing. I'm taking one from the team.
What was it? Spicy and sour they got you? Oh my God. That was so hardcore.
It's wrong.
Dude, see y'all tonight. Ferd, I will see you L&M. Hopefully you'll still be up, or you can watch us.
Catch the replay.
Yeah, the replay.
During the replay. So I even called you out on that, didn't I, Martin? There, I said we were talking about the release of the Mike McCready signature Strat, and they're like, "Oh, it's a replica." Oh, this is what pisses me off, Seth. Oh, it's a replica of like a 60 Strat. I was like, really? Because it's got a 5-way switch in it.
That's not a 60 Strat.
Right. And it had a 9.5-inch radius. And I was like, that's not a 60 Strat thing. But then Martin, I said, he'll probably comment and tell us that he had all this stuff modded. Sure enough, Martin leaves the comment, yes, Mike in the 90s had this done and this done and this done. But that's my big thing is all these Fender products, they're like, oh, it's a 59 Strat reissue. And they all have 5-way switches in them. They never put a 3-way switch. I'm like, that didn't come out till the 70s.
Yep. I had a 3-way switch I was considering for the purple build, but I'm putting a 5-way in it.
Yeah, because then you don't have to mess with trying to halfway yourself. And
I've just got a bunch of these really nice Schaller made in Germany 5-way switches that are like top notch, and they're basically like a little tank. So I'm very confident in those to where I'd like someone to have their Presley to where that switch doesn't have to be replaced for a long time. So, dude, I got to run to take care of these kids. Ben, So Ben, you know how I do this, right? I go to the brand, and then I will hit the thingy thing to play, or I get rid of us first.
No, you hit the thing to play. You get rid of us while it's playing, and then when
it's done, end stream,
and then you can add us back for.
Now this has become a lesson on StreamYard. So
yeah, there we go. Fun fact, folks, learn every day.
Gummy time tonight.